He's a traitor. The president outlined last week that these are important national security programs to help keep Americans safe and give us tools to fight the terrorist threat that we face. The disclosure of this information puts Americans at risk. It shows our adversaries what our capabilities are, and it's a giant violation of the law.
All right, that's House Speaker John Boehner talking about the leaker of the PRISM program and the NSA programs. Joining us right now to weigh in on that and so much more is our friend. He is Congressman Louie Gohmert, Vice Chair of the Judiciary Subcommittee on Crime, Terrorism, and Homeland Security. Hey, Congressman, how are you?
I'm all right, Steve. Well, the reason I'm Vice Chair is because I've ticked off my own speaker so much I'm not going to be chairman. Well, he didn't have any say over who was chairman of the House prayer breakfast, and so I'm co-chair of the prayer breakfast. But that's why I'm not chairman.
But you don't disagree with what he just said about Snowden, do you? That he's a traitor.
I disagree. Well,
yeah.
I don't know. I think the jury should still be out on Snowden, because let's face it, Steve. If what Snowden brought forward was illegal by the federal government, then he is a heroic whistleblower. If what he brought forward is classified information that was perfectly legal, then he could be guilty of treason. So my jury is still out on which he is.
Well, what if it, Congressman? What if it was classified, but illegal? Although I'm not conceding that, but what if it was classified and illegal?
I still think he is a whistleblower that did a very courageous thing, but that's still yet to be determined whether they were committing illegal acts or whether they were perfectly legal.
Well, he's put forth no evidence of any illegal acts being committed, has he?
Well, the things that have been disclosed, I have tremendous concern about. And for them to say that, all of the president's administration saying, well, everybody knew about this, that's absolutely not true. Some of us have gone to classified briefings. I've personally gone and reviewed records about phone monitoring and whatnot. And, you have to get rid of any cell phone cameras, anything electronic. You go back and you spend hours going through stuff. And I was not aware that this was going this far. And so I'm very concerned about it. I don't, unlike some of the folks that have been in the hot water and it's gotten boiling hot, they don't realize they're being cooked and they need to jump out of the pan before it gets any hotter. So they're out there going, oh, this really isn't that big a deal. Yes, when the government knows and they have the ability to monitor every email you send and that you get in, to know who you call, when you call, for how long you call. I mean, it is just outrageous. It is so Orwellian. It's not funny.
All right, but let me just ask you, Congressman, the ability to get every email, the ability and the authorization and to use it and using it to and actually getting those emails are two different things. Let me ask you.
Keep in mind that it's illegal for the IRS to persecute folks just because of their political beliefs.
Oh, I understand. Believe me.
We've already been shown that this was the most weaponized administration, even worse than the Watergate administration.
But what did you not know? We've heard from the president that every member of Congress knew. What did you not know about? What have you found out this week that has surprised you?
For one thing, having reviewed the order from the FISA court that was made public, that was classified, that you had a judge that just said, yeah, go get every single phone call, every record, every phone call being made outside the United States and inside the United States. Steve, we had significant debates on whether or not they could gather information about phone calls being made from known terrorists in foreign countries
I remember
into
that.
the United States.
Yep, under
and
Bush.
I said on the House floor, look, my message to you guys that don't want that to happen, you don't want phone calls from within the United States, all those records grabbed that go to a foreign terrorist. My message is simple. Just when you're calling your foreign terrorist friends, don't use your own phone, and you'll be fine. I was being rather sarcastic,
Right.
of course, but I had no idea that they were getting every American's phone call to everyone inside and outside the United States. We wasted a lot of time on debate that was irrelevant. Now that we know that with a stroke of the pen, they get everything. They're not just getting summaries. They're not getting the things that we understood they were getting.
Well, they're getting the phone
everything.
records, right? Not the phone call. They're not listening in,
Yeah,
right?
but let's face it. If they have a judge that signs a warrant saying they can have every record of every phone call being made, then all you have to do then, once you have all that information, he called this person and that person, and then you can use that information to go get a warrant to start bugging every phone call. When I would submit, it shouldn't be that easy to get every record for every American who's not suspected. But here's what it comes back to, Steve. When you have open borders as we do, basically just so porous, people are pouring in just in 3 to 5 times the amount they were before we started talking amnesty. When you have people pouring in like that, if you want security, people are going to have to give up tremendous amount of privacy and their constitutional rights in order to stay safe. But if we will secure the border so we can make sure people coming in are not coming in to harm us, that they're legally coming in, and we enforce the visas, which would have stopped most of the 9/11 hijackings, then we can be safer. We can have more of our privacy rights. But the loss of your privacy and your phone calls and your emails is going to happen if we're going to keep having these kind of porous borders.
Let me ask you.
I'd rather secure the border and keep our rights.
Let me ask you a question on immigration. Senator Cruz, the senator from your great state of Texas, says that it's already in. The fix is in. Basically, this immigration bill is going to pass the Senate, but will not pass the House. Do you agree with him on either or both of those points?
And that is a very difficult problem. I've been in meetings today. The Judiciary Committee I'm on, the Immigration Subcommittee is part of it. We're going to take up an immigration bill the next 2 weeks. Trey Gowdy has a fantastic bill that deals with border security. The problem is, Steve, and my big concerns, Michelle Bogman, Steve King, lots of people, our big concern is that if we pass a bill, no matter how great it is, as good as Trey's bill, we pass that bill out of the House. The Senate has passed their bill that gives amnesty. Well, then it goes to a conference. And our speaker, our Republican speaker, has refused to say that he won't bring a bill to the floor that's going to be passed by all the Democrats and a handful of Republicans. And so the concern is passing any kind of immigration bill out of the House, other than one that just says secure the borders, period. You've got the money, you've got the wherewithal, now just secure the border, and then we'll talk about a more comprehensive bill. Anything besides that could be taken to conference and
rammed down.
And they can airdrop.
Congressman, I'm up against a hard break, but I hear what you're saying, and